Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Doing good.
So today we are talking about the Cornelius and Anthony Daddy Mac Robusto. Cigar is 5-inch by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the La Zona factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is listed as being from Brazil. Binder is from Ecuador, and the filter is from Nicaragua. This is blended by Hector Alfonso. Price point is $9, and the cigar was released in April of 2016. So, June, what was your pre-light experience like with the cigar?
The experience was good. I thought the wrapper had a Colorado shade wrapper. Good oil content on the wrapper, and the texture was like a construction paper kind of a consistency. Things well pressed, seems tight. Cigar had a uniform and slightly spongy give throughout the whole thing, with no soft spots at all. Head finish off with a well adhered triple cap. Um, Nosing the wrapper, I got cedar and baking spices. When I smell the foot, baking spices, white pepper, and anise. And cold draw, I got cardboard, dry wood, and hay.
Yeah, wrapper was a light brown, had a few small veins present. Seams were smooth and they blended well. And the head has three very well applied caps. Two bands, the first being the standard Cornelius and Anthony band, and the second one being a small strip band that's primarily black with gold borders and lettering with the line name on it. The aroma for the wrapper was a little bit of leather, and the foot gave a nice sweet stone fruit. And the pre-light draw was a mix of leather and a lightly sweet hay. So flavor-wise, what was your experience like with the cigar?
The first start, I thought a really nice bouquet of flavors. I got a lot of different flavors: black pepper, black coffee, lightly cream dried mixed nuts, cedar and bread. Through the retrohale, strong black pepper, sharp cedar, and dry mixed nuts. The finish was lengthy. First and foremost, with this black pepper that was layering the entire palate, and that was followed by like this oily oakiness and charred mixed nuts. In terms of body and strength, somewhere between medium full for the strength and medium body. Moving on to the second third. I thought that the second third had the flavors better fused, especially in the sense of this creamy bread and this palate layering black pepper spice really work well together. It's like this like sweet and spicy kind of a thing that really married well together. Profile still showed those other flavors, such as cedar, lightly creamed, dry mixed nuts. The black coffee got lost, and it was replaced by intermittent notes of baking spices. The retro remained unchanged, still giving me strong black pepper, sharp cedar, and dry mixed nuts. Finish continuously showed lengthy notes of palate layering black pepper, oily oak, and charred mixed nuts. Body remain still at that medium mark and strength somewhere in between, toggling between that medium full. Moving on to the second third. I thought the second third still good. Started kind of letting off the throttle, especially in that black pepper spice that I actually really enjoyed within especially the second third. Profile is now centered around cream, oak, black coffee, dry mixed nuts, and tapered black pepper. Retro was still giving me that spice I was looking for, that strong black pepper, sharp cedar, and mixed nuts. Finish now comprised of mainly dry oak and mixed nuts. Body finishes at the medium mark, and strength is still toggling between that medium full mark.
That was the final third or second third?
Oh, that was fine third.
Okay. Yeah, initial draws for me brought like a full note of baking spice, and then after a few draws, that baking spice settled down, and an oak was becoming apparent. The retro was like a very full baking spice as well. And then a quarter inch in, oak becomes the primary note with the baking spice in the background. At 3/4 of an inch in, a little bit of cream joined in, which made for a very creamy and oaky profile. With that baking spice was really faint in the background. Retrohale was also creamy oak, but didn't have any of the baking spice present at that point. And then as the third was coming to a close, that creamy oak is what was remaining, and the strength was right around medium. And then getting into the second third, kind of continued on with that very creamy oak profile with the same profile on the retrohale. And the profile continued for quite a while. And then an inch in, a little bit of bitterness joined in with that creamy oak. And then at 1.25 inches, the bitterness diminished a little bit, but it was still in the background and on the finish. But the creamy oak is what was kind of dominating the profile there. And that's how the second third finished out. And the strength bumped up a little bit to be just slightly above medium. And then getting to the final third, kind of continues on with that creamy oak and a little bit of slight bitterness. Retrohale is very creamy oak as well. And then 1/4 inch in, the bitterness increased a little bit. And then at 3/4 in, the cigar began to warm up, which actually lessened the effect of the bitterness and kind of enhanced that creamy oak profile. And that's kind of how the cigar finished out for me. And then strength was still kind of at that slightly above medium mark. So performance-wise, for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
Very good burn. I smoked this at a really impressive 2 hours and 20 minutes. I had to double do the math, and I was like, really? Did I not add an extra hour or something? But yeah, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Burn line, slightly wavy. Ashes are also slightly flowery. But ashes held on strong, averaging 1.5 inch increments. But really, the most important factor of all this is I never had to reuse my lighter to touch it up or relight it to any extent. Perfect draw, just the right amount of resistance to pull all the flavors. So very well constructed cigar.
Yeah, construction was perfect for me. Burn was perfect, stayed very sharp the entire way. Ashes were holding on in 1.5 inch increments, so that was nice. And the same with the draw. I mean, just the right amount of resistance that I prefer. So I paid no attention to the construction at all. I just was able to smoke and focus on flavors. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar?
I like the cigar. I thought that this is another hit of a collaboration between like Lozona Hector and like Cornelius Anthony. I especially like how that black pepper was palate layering, right? Like, sometimes black pepper could be like at different parts of my mouth, like, in the rear, which typically means it's kind of in the back of my throat, which I'm not a big fan of. But this one was just, layer the entire palate, and it didn't overshadow the other flavors, which I really enjoyed that aspect of. And really, when I wanted that increase in spice and just the intensity of flavors in general, the retrohale I thought was where I was at with this cigar because, it always gave me that consistent kind of deeper flavors of all the stuff within the mouth draws. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good, and I hope, pending FDA, of course, that see more of these future collaborations.
Yeah, for me, I didn't find much in the way of transitions for the cigar, but I thought that was okay because the flavor profile was consistently good for most of the cigars. So strength level wasn't over the top either. So I think it fits in with most smokers' profiles. And then just kind of add in that great construction, and it really makes for a low maintenance and enjoyable smoke. So I'd gladly smoke more of these, and I think it's pretty easy to be able to recommend to people that like a kind of a creamy oak profile. Like you said, that this is another good offering from Cornelius and Anthony, kind of backed by Lozona and Hector. So a really nice other offering from them. So score wise, I gave this a 7 even. You gave it a 7.53. How do you think that matches up with your experience?
Much well. Cigar went good, very good, back to good in terms of the first, second, and last third. Coupled by really good construction, and I thought overall it was a really good, tasty cigar. So,
yeah, same for me. Consistent flavor the whole way for me, so it was really good. It was enjoyable. Fantastic construction, all pluses on the side of this thing. So, really not anything bad to say about the cigar. So it's definitely something that I'll go back to and smoke to again. Any other final thoughts from you?
Nope. Oh, yes. I thought so. I want to go back to the spice thing. Like, I really like cigars that is spicy and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was it, especially in the second third. It didn't do that for majority of the time that I was smoking it. But that second third really captured that moment. And it kind of, when Hector talks about like that signature, that Lozona kind of pepper punch, right? Like, I totally got that. This is a prime example of what that means. If you guys want to, in my opinion, of what that means, if you guys want to taste it for yourself of what Hector talks about. So.
Yep, exactly. Well, thank you for watching. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on developingpalates.com. And be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. And you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts as well. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.